Welcome back, guys. It's been a long time since I've been on here. We are supposedly going to be under a blizzard watch here in just a couple hours. So I'm out trying to button some things up for the chickens, quail, rabbits. And I do believe we're supposed to have 2 days worth of high winds, 50 mile an hour, a lot of snow, so it's going to get pretty nasty. I do think I'm going to run out because I have a couple hives that aren't strapped down. I normally don't have to worry about that too much because we're not in a high wind area, but I think 2 days of high winds, I think I better go out and strap some bees too. I'm going to run in, check for eggs, which I'll be having to do every couple hours, because if you don't, they'll freeze and break pretty quick. I know a lot of people, they don't, a lot of their hens won't lay eggs all winter. I think a lot of that has to do with if the coop has any light getting into it at all, which I don't run lights. I don't want any electricity in my chicken coops, but there is a big window, so they get a lot of sunlight if there's sun shining. So light definitely plays a big part of it, and also the feed. It all depends on how much protein is in your feed. That will also contribute to if there's egg production. Now, if we get 50 mile an hour winds like they say we're going to, I'm not going to walk outside and try to get water. See, it's already froze up. So I'm going to break the ice up out of this one, and I'm going to put their water in their coop because that's where they're going to stay. And I'll just have to come out and fill their water with just enough water to that they can drink in a short period of time, because chickens need water, access to water all the time. I have my males and female quail separated right now because you can keep male quails together. You can see them. You can keep them together without them fighting and killing each other if there's no females present. So right now they're all separated. And I'm just going to stuff a bunch of straw in. And I don't care how nasty it gets, them peeing and pooping on it over the next couple of days, because I will just clean all this stuff out of here after this weather moves through. But at least I know that they'll have a chance to be warm in there. And I'm going to go do the same thing to the female hutch. Now the female quail hutch is more exposed to the elements outside, so I stuff that full of straw because I want to make sure that there's no wind coming up from the bottom. So once they get in there, they'll bed all that down. They'll fluff it around them, and then they should be all right in there. Plus, I've got the outside of a tarp to keep the wind from hitting them. So they should be good. The quail's water, I am going to have to come out and I'm just going to change this out. I'm going to get another one of these, and I'm just going to put enough water in there, one for the chicken, and I'll just keep one, and I'll just keep on swapping them in and out for the next few days. All right, see the rabbits. I didn't record it, but I put a bunch of straw down first, packed it in good, and then I just put some Timothy hay on top of that. Rabbits are pretty cold hardy, so they should be all right, but I'll still come out, I gotta come out every few hours and replace their bottles. I can't put very much in there at a time. And it's starting to get cold already. Just since I've been out here taking care of the animals, I can tell it's been dropping. The quail, they'll bury themselves in that straw. They'll be all right. That's the posse. The posse lives in the wood shop, so I'm not real worried about them. I'm just going to close the doors up so they can't come in and out. Once it drops down tonight, I'm just going to shut it up, and that's where they'll be for the next few days. So the storm is coming in from the north, so I'm thinking about closing off that entrance to the coop to keep them northern winds from blowing in. They still have this one that's pretty much protected from stack of wood and some other stuff outside. Alright, so I got their water in, their feed's inside. I don't like feeding them inside, but there's going to be mice in here anyway. But I try to keep all their feed outside just to help eliminate pest problems inside the coop. But you're going to have them no matter what. So I did throw a bunch of straw down. Just give them something to do, because they're going to get bored being locked up in here for a few days. Now obviously the automatic water isn't full this time of year, but I do come out and I fill up the cups a couple times a day for them. But man, that automatic water, that thing is awesome in the summertime, because it's in shade. It's in shade almost all the time, so I don't have to worry. I'd never had algae build up on the inside of it, and I fill it up about halfway at a time just in case they cause a leak. Sometimes they'll move a cup and make it leak. I don't want to waste all that water, so but half a tank will last me over a week. So it's kind of nice if we end up going somewhere, like when we were going on vacation in Tennessee, I'd just fill this thing up and I wouldn't have to worry about their water, because I'd have this and their other 5-gallon, and they'd be good on water, and they can go a week on their feeders. So chickens, man, they've got to be one of the easiest things to take care of. I am giving them a lot of scratch today, more than I normally would, because the grains helps their body produce heat during the digestive part. So it's always good to give your birds some stuff with corns and grains in it, whole grains, so their bodies heat up. All right, I'm gonna go grab some straps, and I'm gonna run out to I think there's only 2 stands that I have bees on that aren't strapped, so I'm gonna run out there and get those taken care of. It is starting to spit snow a little bit, so I'm gonna go get that done. You like my redneck wall? I wanted to separate the wood shop from the regular, try to keep it warmer over there, and plywood's stupid expensive, and so I still have a bunch of political signs left from when I was on our local city council, so I put them to use. All right, put the straps up. All right, I got them all strapped down. Like I say, I normally don't have to strap my hives because we don't really just get that much wind where we're at. But 2 days of strong winds, I figured to be safe, especially since, look, I raise the back of all my colonies if I can lift them. I lift them up after I pull honey, and I put an 1.5 inch block underneath them, so that way any condensation will kind of run down instead of just dripping down. It will kind of run, and I've had a lot better survival rates through winter since I started doing that. And another thing you'll see, and I know I'll probably get hammered on by some guys, but I quit running reducers in the winter. It just seemed like when I was running entrance reducers, I was just having so much trouble with either get clogged up with the bees that did die, or I just had so many moisture problems. And since I quit doing it, I haven't had near the issues. But if you look right there, see if I can zoom in. Right there, there's a daggone mice nest in this hive. So that's going to be a mess in the spring. Bees will probably still be there, but all these frames down here are going to be garbage. If you've never had a mouse make nest in one of your colonies, they destroy everything. The frames, it's just a disaster. This 5/5, I would run all my colonies 5/5 in the winter. I have had so much success running 5/5 boxes in the winter that, like I say, if I had enough equipment to do it, I would move all my colonies to that in the fall, just because they overwinter so good. So I'm gonna head over to the other yard that I have some that aren't strapped. The third yard, they'll be okay. They have big cinder blocks that I put on top of the hives, so they'll be all right. So I'm gonna run over to the other yard, and there's 2 colonies over there that I need to get strapped down. It's crazy. It's warm enough that I can go from yard to yard with my window down and not freeze to death. It is starting to, it is spitting snow, but here it is, 38 degrees, and they say before the end of the day we're going to be below 0. It's a big drop in one day. And then with wind chills, they're saying -25 or even lower. That's a big swing in a 24-hour period. You gotta love northern Indiana. You just never know what you're gonna have from day to day. Go back here and get these colonies strapped down, and we'll wrap this video up. Stay tuned, because I'll be going out and periodically throughout the storm take care of everything, check on stuff, and just see if we get what forecasters are saying we're going to get. So buckle down, stay warm, be safe. See you on the next one.